Hi everyone. Now we'll discuss solution for all the questions for third unit embedded C for microcontent application subject. It's a third unit of your microcontent application subject. It carries to 25 marks in external exam. Here we'll discuss all the questions which are asked in the question bank. Now we'll start with first one. List the advantages and disadvantages of using 8051 programming. Okay, now what are the advantages and disadvantages are there to write the program in C? The advantages are, first to start with, in first advantage, C programming is a less time consuming. The reasons for writing the programs in C. So C programming is a less time consuming means it takes less time to compile the programs, and it has most of the libraries are inbuilt. So that's a reason to write the programs in C. Second advantage, it is easier and less time consuming to write the C than the assembly. So compared to assembly, in a high level language, that is in C, it's very easier to write the program because it's almost user friendly language. That is, you can use the very known and easy syntax you can use as per the programmer. Third advantage, C is easier to modify and update. Compared to assembly language, C is very easier to modify and update. In assembly language, if you want to modify and update, you have to take lot of time to change the code compared to C. That is another advantage. Next advantage is we can use code available in function libraries. As I told earlier, it uses function libraries which has the codes in built. Okay, that's why it's uses the programmer can use the code from function libraries. Fifth advantage, C code is portable to other microcontroller with little number of modifications. C is very portable. You can run your C on any platform irrespective of OS operating systems. That's why it is very portable compared to microcontroller. So this is another advantage. Disadvantage is compiler is produce more hex file. The hex file is very size is more. That's why compiler produce hex file that is downloaded to RAM of microcontroller. The size of the hex file is main concern because it produces larger hex files. Whenever the hex file is going to increase, the size of the ROM of the microcontroller can't increase because it comes with the on chip. That's why you have to concentrate on this one. That is a disadvantage of C programming in 8051. That's a disadvantage. Microcontrollers have limited on chip ROM. Code space for 8051 is limited to 64 kilobytes. This is second disadvantage. In microcontroller, it has a limited on chip ROM, that is 4K. You can extend up to 64 kilobytes by interfacing with 8051. So you can give the concentration on ROM size whenever you are writing the larger programs. Next question is, explain the different data types available in 8051 C. Let's ask for 5 marks. First, you have to list all the data types which are available in C. Here I have written the unsigned char, signed char, unsigned int, signed int, sbit, bit and SFR. These are different data types which are available in 8051 C. Next, you have to explain individual parameters with the data range. Here I have mentioned with a table. You can see the table. This is a table. Here you have the data type, size in bits and data range. You have to write this much. For unsigned char data type, it is 8-bit in size. Data range is 0 to 255. For signed char, size is again 8-bit, but it is signed char, which is gives the negative as well as positive sign. That's why range also start from negative to positive. That is minus 128 to plus 127. Next data type is unsigned int. It is 16-bit in size. Data range is 0 to 65,535. Next data type signed int, again 16-bit. It is gives the data range for positive as well as negative. Range start from minus 32,768 plus 32,767. Next data type is S-bit. It is single bit, that is 1-bit size. S-bit in the sense is mainly used for the to declare the bits of special function registers. That's why it is start with S. S means SFR. So data type is S-bit. Range for this one is, it is only applicable for the bit addressable registers of any SFRs. Next data type is bit. Again size is only 1 bit. It is applicable for RAM bit addressable only. If I want to declare any temporary variable that can store the values in RAM of your 8051, you can use the data type is bit. Next data type is SFR. Again size is 8-bit. It is applicable for RAM addresses start from 82 FFH only. Most of the time, if you are using the special function registers in your programming, so you have to declare those SFRs as a 8-bit. You can use the data type SFR. Next, third question. Explain the different arithmetic operators available in 8051C. Here, it's a simple question. You have to just mention arithmetic operators and you have to give one example and you have to write the symbols. Here, total I have mentioned 5 arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Next column is represent symbols, and I have given one examples for each arithmetic operators, which carries total 5 marks. Next, fourth question is explain the different memory models available in 8051C. Again, it's asked for 5 marks. Here in C programming, your program which occupies different memories in 8051. So depends on the program, you can divide whole memory model in mainly 3 types. That is, first one small, second one compact, third one large. So the small, in this model, all variables default to the internal data memory of 8051. That means your data is going to stores. It may be variables, it may be constant values. By default, it is going to store into the internal data memory, that is RAM of 8051, which is size is 128 bytes. Next, this is same as if they were declared explicitly by the data memory type. You can mention the data types, depends on data type. So by default, it is going to store the data into the your internal memory only. Third one, the programs with a single 8051 chip can only use the small memory model unless external memory is utilized. So the programmer can, with a single 8051 chip, they can use small memory model only until unless external memory is utilized. If you are not using the external memory, so you have to use the small memory model only, because that is the only option. Next, it is limited to 128 bytes because you are using the internal data memory. So it is inbuilt memory, on chip memory you can say, that is 128 bytes for 8051. Here data access is fastest because you can access direct memories on chip RAM. That's why it won't take more time to access the data from internal memories. Next memory model is compact. Here in this model, all the variables default to one page of external data memories. So your data is going to store into the external data memories, that is in terms of phases. That's why it is declared as P data memory types, because you are storing the data into the pages of external data memories. Here data access is slower than the small memory models because byte register R0 and R1 is used indirectly. You are going to access the data from external memory by using the registers R0 and R1s. Next, you can access data up to 256 bytes only. Third one, large memory model. In this model, all the variables default to external off-chip X data memories. That means X data means external data. So completely in this model, you are going to access all the data from the external memory only. That's why it is called as external off-chip X data memories. Here data access is slower than the small and compact memory models because it uses 2 bytes of data pointer, that is DPTR, to address the external memories. That's why it is called as it is large memory or off-chip external data memories. So here large means you can access the data up to 64 kilobytes. That's why it is called as large memory models. Next question, explain the different memory type specifiers available in 8051. Here depends on the memory types. You can say that your variable is belongs to, or your data is belongs to which type of memory specifier. So it depends on that. You can say that your data is accessed from the that type of memory. Now we'll see the 8051 supports a number of physical separate memory areas for program as well as data. Mainly there are 3 memory type specifiers. First one, program memory, that is nothing but code. So next one, internal data memories. In that again you can see P data, that is binary data. Data in the sense temporary data, that is related to the RAM. Next I data, that's internal data. External data memories, here you can store the data in external memories, or in terms of pages you can store the data in external memories. That's why it is indicates X data means external memories, P data means page data memories. I have given below all the memory types, how it is declared, how it is going to access. First on code, if you are using the code, so there you can access by using the opcode MOVC A comma at the rate of A plus DPTR. Here we can access the code from the program memory up to 64 kilobytes you can access. So if you are accessing data from this memory, that is called as program memory or code memories. Next, data memory type. Data memory type in the sense you can directly accessible or directly addressable internal data memories. So you have the fastest access to full internal address space, that is up to 256 bytes. Here you are accessing the data from internal memories. That's why it is direct addressable internal data memories, and also it is fast. Next, iData. iData means you are going to access the data indirectly. That's why it is called as indirectly addressable internal data memories, accessed across the internal address space up to 128 bytes. That is internal RAM size of 8051. Here you can access data up to only 128 bytes. That's why it is called as iData. Next, B data means bit addressable internal data memories. In RAM, one portion of RAM is reserved for bit addressable memory, that is size is 60 bytes. If you want to access any bits from that region, you can say that data is bit addressable data. In short, it's called as B data. So it allows to access mixed bit or byte access. Next one, X data, that means external data memories. You can access the data up to 64 kilobytes, which is accessed by the opcode. That is only one code, opcode is there, MOVX A comma add DPTR. So here you can access through the DPTR register. Next one, P data, that is page data. If you are accessing data from pages of external memories, that is up to 256 bytes you can access in terms of paged memories. So it is accessed by using the opcode MOVX@rn. So using this opcode only we can access the data. So this is the different types of memory type specifiers. Next we'll see the program. In the exams they are going to ask the program like this for the 10 marks. Write a 8051C program to do the following. First one, clear P0 contents using XOR. Second one, set D4 bit of memory location temp without affecting other bits. Third, mask D5 and D3 bits of memory location temp2. So this asks for 10 marks. Now we'll see the program. You have to start with hash include reg15.h, the first header file of your 8051C programming. Next, void main. Here void should be not a capital, it is small letter. Sorry for a mistake. Now after void main, you have to declare the variables. I have declared the variables here according to the questions. The first one, clear the P0 contents using the XOR only. So I have written here also, and before that I have declared some variables which is required to perform these statements in terms of C programming. Clear P0 contents using XOR. P0 is equal to P0 XOR of P0. So it gives the result as a zeros. According to the truth table, you have to think the correct statement, C statement. If you know any other statement, you can write that one, but answer should be 0. All the bits should be 0 after performing this one. Next one, to set the D4 bit of memory location temp2. In temp2, if you have any data, so in that data it has 8 bits. In that one, D4th bit should be it is going to set. After writing these C program statements, your D4 bit is going to set. Or taken a number, you can give the as an input from the keyboard. That is makes OR operation with 10. That is makes to 1 as a result. Input in D4 bit, if it is 0, that is OR with 1. So result is 1. If input itself is 1, so this 1 OR with 1, again result will get the 1. Okay. Next, to mask a D5 and D3 bits of memory location temp2. Now first you have to take 8-bit number, you have to write down. Next, for every bit you have to give the names D0 bit, D1 bit, D2 bit, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. After that you have to make 0. Mask means make it clear. So you have to make it clear after the writing the C statement. You have to write the C statement to make those bits 0. If those bits is 1, that should be becomes 0. Okay, that is for that you have to take the input is y is equal to y and operation of 0x D7. So what is there in y? In y you have the temp2. In temp2 you have one data. In that data D5 is D3 is, it may be 1 or it may be 0. So D7 makes D5 and D3 bit zeros. That is gives 0 output. Now we'll go for 7th program. The program is write a C statements to do the following task. Here you have to write only C statements. They are not asking to write a program, they are asking to write C statements. First one, to toggle the content of P0. So you have to toggle the contents of P0. All 8 bits should be toggle. For that I have taken the value P0 is equal to 0x55. For toggling I have taken the inverter operator P0 is equal to inverter of P0. We return, if write this much, you get the 2.5 marks. If they ask to, okay, one question carries 2.5, two question carries total 5 marks. Usually they are going to ask two C statements. Next one, to left shift the content of P2 by 2-bit position. So you have to write a C statement to perform left shift. For that, this is the operator for left shift. How many position? 2. So I have taken 2 position left shift for port P2. P2 is equal to P2 left shift of 2. Next, 8th question. Write C statements to do the following task. 5 marks. Here the question is to write shift the contents of P3 by 4-bit position. Now here they are asking write shift 4 position. So P3 is equal to P3. This is right shift operator of 4. Next one, to mask the D3 and D5 bits of P0. Again you want to mask or you are going to clear, or you can make the zeros of D3 and D5 bits of P0 are done by using the value of Z AND operator 0x28. Okay. Next one, to write the C statement to do the following task. To toggle the D7 and D3 bits of P2, you have to toggle the only D7 and D3 bit of P2. For that, P2 is equal to 0x88. Next, P2 is equal to inverter of P2. That is toggle the D7 D3 bit of P2. Last one, to set the D1 and D3 bit of P1. So now you have to make it 1 of D1 and D3 bit of P1. So Z is equal to P1. Next, Z is equal to Z or operator 0x0a. This is the number to set the D1 and D3 bit of P1. Okay. Next, write a C program to read P1.2 and send it to P2.3 after inverting it. So ask for 5 marks. Here you have to first get the bit from second bit of port P1. Next you have to invert it. After you have to send it to the third bit of P2, that is port 2. How to write a C program? We'll see now. First start with the header file. Hash include reg51.h. S bit, because you are declaring special bit of special function register port P1 as well as port P2. So I have taken both are S bit. In bit, this is a read means this is in bit. So I have taken in bit is equal to P1 cap 2. This is a way of declaration of your port bits in C. Next, S bit. So you are going to store into the output bit, that is third bit of port P2. So output is equal to P2 cap 3. Next, you have to take intermediate variable, that is M bit, which is going to help to move the data from port P1 to port P2. Directly you can't transfer. You have to take a third variable to transfer the data from the one port to another port. Next, void main. Next, enter the program while 1 continuously it is going to perform this operation. M bit is equal to in bit. Get the bit from the second bit of port 1. Next, I have inverted that one, store into the output. This is inverted, send it to the third bit of P2, that is completes your program. Next one, write a 8051C program to convert unpacked bit to ASCII and to display it on port 0. Here you have to convert your unpacked bit numbers, that is already you know the unpacked numbers are 0 to 9. So out of that you can take any two unpacked BCD numbers, convert it to ASCII number. That is, already you know what is the meaning of ASCII. So if you take the unpacked number BCD 1, that ASCII value is 31. If you take on 2, its ASCII value is 32. So now we'll start the C program. Hash include reg51.h. Next I have taken on variable, okay, unsigned char temp1, void main, enter the loop. So enter the program. ACC means temp1, it's a variable, that's accumulator. Accumulator is equal to accumulator or with 0x30. Whatever number you are going to declare in temp1 unpacked number, that is add with 30, it becomes 30 added with a number. Finally you are display on the port P2. This is going to happen continuously using the while one always true. Next one, write a 8051 C program to toggle all the bits of P0 for every 500 millisecond using the NOT operator, another one by using the XOR operator. Here you have to toggle all the bits of port P0 for every 500 millisecond. So using NOT and using XOR. Hash include reg51.h. I have taken delay of 500 millisecond. So I have declared the delay. The function name is delay function. I have declared here. Before the main you have to declare the function. Next enter the program. P0 is equal to 0x55, P2 is equal to 0x55. Next file one always 1. Next P0 is equal to invert of P0, that is using NOT operator. Another one P2 is equal to P2 XOR of 0xFF using the XOR operator. Both are done. Delay of 500 millisecond. With this delay, these two ports are going to toggle. Finally, this is the program to write the toggling of all the bits of P0 for every 500 millisecond. Here I am calling the delay function in main program. Initially I have declared, and here after the main I am writing the program for the delay. This is a delay program which gives the delay of 1 millisecond, okay, with this count values. Here two for loops. I have declared two variables unsigned int I comma j. For I is equal to 0, I less than count, I plus plus, I is equal to j is equal to 0, j 1275, j plus plus. So this is the delay for 1 millisecond. In order to find millisecond, I call this one 500. So 500 into 1 millisecond becomes 500 millisecond. So finally it is going to toggle all bits P0 for 500 millisecond. Next, write a 8051 C program to convert ASCII into unpacked BCD and send it to the P0. Now you have to convert your ASCII to unpacked BCD numbers. So here I have taken two numbers, ASCII numbers. One is 4, another one is 7. These two ASCII number I have taken in our program. First one, you start with the header file, hash include reg51.h. Next void main. Next you have to take two ASCII numbers, that makes one, that gives two unpacked BCD numbers. So unsigned char BCD byte. So BCD byte is a variable which takes the unpacked BCD numbers. Here w is equal to double quotation with 4 means it takes the ASCII value of 4 if you write the values in terms of double quotes. That's why I have written one the values in double quotes. Another number I have taken unsigned char z is equal to 7. This is the operation w is equal to w and operation of 0x0f. That means this is a 34. 34 added with the 0f means it gives only 4. Next again z is equal to z and operation of 0x0f means 37 becomes 7. Now w is having the value of 4, that is going to store into the BCD byte, that is you are displayed in the P0. Same thing again, you have the 7 in z variable, that is again storing in BCD byte. After that I am displaying that data also on P0. In this way I am displaying the two unpacked BCD numbers on the port 0. Next one, write a 8051C program to convert packed BCD to ASCII and it display it on port P1 and P2. Now you have to take one packed BCD number, okay, that contains two unpacked BCD numbers. In one packed BCD which has two unpacked BCD numbers, for example 00, 01, 10, like that, you can take any one packed BCD number, convert to ASCII numbers. Here I have taken 29 in our program. Again start with a hash include reg51.h. Next void main. Next enter the program, opening curly braces. Next I have taken three variables using the data type unsigned char x, y, z. Next our packed BCD number is unsigned char my byte is equal to 0x29. Here I need to separate first 29 to get the ASCII numbers. First I am going to perform the AND operation. X is equal to my byte AND of 0x0f, which gives 09. Next one 109 number you got, that is going to store into the x, that is added to the 30 by using the p1 is equal to x or of 0x30. You can see here it becomes 39, the first ASCII number. Second ASCII number, again I taken my byte and operation of 0xf0. Now I need ASCII value for 2. Now already you generated 9 for 39 ASCII. Now for 2 I need to generate 32 ASCII. So f0 you got the 20. Okay, so that is going to perform the right shift of 4 position. 20 becomes 02. After that p0 is equal to y or of 0x30 means it becomes a 32. That is I have displayed on the p2. So finally I have displayed both the numbers on p1 and p2. Now next question is, write a 8051C program to convert ASCII digits 4 and 7 into packed BCD to display on the port P1. It's a ask for 5 marks. Here two ASCII numbers you have to convert into one packed BCD numbers. So instead of unpacked you have to make it a packed it. Now again you start with hash include reg51.h void main, enter the program. You have to take one variable to get the temporary variables, that is to store the temporary numbers before displaying on the ports. Unsigned char BCD byte, two ASCII numbers I have taken 4 and 7. They have mentioned in the program, they are told that to take 4 and 7 only, so I have declared 4 and 7 with a double quotes which gives ASCII values. Now first one w is equal to w and of 0x0f, which removes the 30, will get only 4. That means it masks higher nibble, it retains only lower nibble, and that is going to left shift for 4, so that becomes 04 becomes 40 now. That is going to store into the w. Next z is equal to z and of 0x0f. In z you have 37. From the 37 you are going to get 07 by making the AND operation, which is going to mask higher nibble. Next I am going to perform now BCD byte is equal to, in w you have 40, in z you have 7, both are AND, it gives the 47. That is going to store into the BCD byte. From the BCD byte you are going to display on the port P1. Now next program is, write a 8051C program to output the checksum byte for 4 bytes of data, 25H, 62H, 3FH and 52H. First you should know what you mean by checksum byte. It is going to check the sum, whether it is correct output or corrupted output. It is going to check the whether data is corrupted or not. Okay, for that it is going to follow the steps theoretically, that steps I have written here in terms of C program. What are steps it is going to follow, that is in terms of program they are going to ask to check the checksum byte. For this all 4 bytes. Now hash include reg51.h wide main wide. Next enter the program. 4 numbers are taken in terms of array format, that is array declaration. Using unsigned char, my data is a variable array name. Next 4 numbers which are mentioned in the question: 25h, 62h, 3fh, 52h. Next are taken the variable sum, that is declared with a 0. Therefore you are checking the sum byte here, that's why you are taken the variable sum. Next another variable are taken for the for loop x. Next finally are taken unsigned char checksum byte, that is the variable, that is a variable to get the result. Finally for total you have the 4 numbers, that's why I taken x is equal to less than 4. Here I started the for loop, x is equal to 0 initialization, x less than 4, x plus plus p2 my data of x. So it is going to take one by one all the 4 data from the my data array. So next it is going to perform the addition, sum plus my data. In sum you are initialized to 0, 0 with added with the every number one by one from the arrays. Final sum of 4 numbers is going to display on p1. After that it is going to take the 2's complement. First it is going to add with 1, next complement again one more complement which gives the 2's complement, that is going to display on the p1, that is gives your checksum byte, that is a result yours. This is the way you are going to generate the checksum byte for given bytes. Next, the data stored in RAM are 25h, 22h, 3fh, 52h and E8h, where the E8 is the checksum byte. Write a 8051C program to check the data integrity. If data is good, send ASCII character G to port P0, otherwise send B to the same port. This asks for 10 marks. Here they are already given the checksum byte, that is E8 is a checksum byte. No need to generate a checksum byte here. Directly you have to check that whether data is correctly generated or it is a bad data or corrupted data. Data integrity means in checksum byte you are going to check whether data is corrupted or not. Okay. Now I started with the hash include reg51.h wide main, enter the program. Unsigned char my data, I declared all the bytes which are mentioned in the program including checksum byte. Here unsigned char checksum is equal to 0, you have to initialize the 0. Next unsigned char x for the for loop declaration, I've taken the x, total 5 numbers, so x less than 5, x is equal to 0, x less than 5, x plus plus, checksum is equal to checksum plus my data of x. So it is going to add all 5 numbers. Okay, final result is going to store into the checksum, and here checksum byte is going to check whether it is good or bad, depends on the result of checksum after addition of all 5 numbers. So final result, if it is equal to 0, so data is good, else the data is bad. The same thing I have given here. So you can see here, so checksum is equal to 0, p0 is equal to 0 is going to display, otherwise if condition not satisfied you won't get result 0 after addition of all 5 bytes. So p0 is equal to b. This is the way you have to write the C program. Next, write a 8051C program to convert a 8-bit hexadecimal number to ASCII after converting it to unpacked BCD and to display the ASCII digits on P0, P1 and P2. Here first you have to convert your 8-bit hexadecimal number to ASCII. Next, after converting it, again you have to convert it to unpacked BCD. You have to display all the ASCII digits on the 3 ports P0, P1 and P2. Here I have started with the hash include reg51 wide main. So I have taken 3 variables, that is to store the 3 intermediate results, and one that is unsigned care temp 1 units, tens, hundreds. Next, our hexa number I have taken. FD is our hexadecimal number. Unsigned care hex num is equal to 0x FD. I have started the operation how to convert hexadecimal to ASCII. Temp 1 is equal to hex number divided by 10. You will get the result of your division. Units is equal to hex num modulus of 10. Here you will get the remainder, not a result. Okay, so remainder will get as a units. 100 is equal to temp 1 modulo of 10. Again you will get the remainder, you will get the 100 here. Tens is equal to temp 1 modulo of 10 means you will get the tens place of remainder. I have added all three results with 30 respectively. Units or of 30 which gives the ASCII value that is displayed on P0. Tens or of 0x30 will generate one more ASCII value that is again displayed on the P1. Finally one more ASCII value that is from the hundreds or with 0x30 which gives another ASCII value which is going to display on the file 1 P2 port. So finally it is going to happen continuously. If I write this much, you will get the 5 marks. Now next is question number 19. Question number 19. Show how octal hexadecimal decimal numbers are represented in 8051. In 8051, how you are going to write the octal numbers, hexadecimal numbers and decimal numbers. Depends on the base. Already know hexadecimal base is 16, decimal base is 10, octal base is 8, binary base is 2. So here for representation of these numbers in 8051 is D is used to print the value in integer format, B is to print the value in binary format, O is print the value in octal format, 0x to print the value in hexadecimal format. Letters will be printed in lower case. So you will get the letter you have to write along with 0x is you have to write in lower case. Suppose you are writing the letters in hexadecimal format in capital letters, you have to use a capital of X. Okay, and the last question of this unit is explain the different logical operators which are available in 8051 C program. Simply you are going to list out the logical operators and with symbols you can mention it for the 5 marks. Logical operators is AND, OR, NOT. That is, these are logical operations is going to perform according to the truth table of AND or NOT. You just write down the AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate with symbols and with examples. And for bitwise operators, it is going to perform the bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise inverter, bitwise shift right, bitwise shift left. Output is in terms of bit results, not a byte. So for both you have to give one example. In front of that only you write it down. Okay, it's more enough to get the 5 marks. I hope with these 20 questions I have solved which are asked in the question bank. Okay, you prepare these questions to get 30 marks in external exams. So at an exam point of view, it's very important. It not a 30, it takes total 25 marks in external exams. So prepare well, and if you have any doubts regarding this one, come back to me and I will solve your doubts. Thank you for watching this videos.